During all cycles of the economy, there are people who are making money and losing money. The makers are the ones in front of large trends. The losers disregard trends. How do you get in front of large trends? You study what creates them. Without any hesitation, in today's society, it's the baby boom generation that creates the largest trends. The baby boomers are a group of babies born between 1946 and 1964. There were 76 million of them born in the United States, a billion of them worldwide. Why is this group so talked about? They're 1/3 of the U.S. population and control 65% of all the money. I've likened the magnitude of all those babies to a basketball moving through a garden hose. They reshape every industry they go through. See, if you can predict where this basketball is going down the garden hose, you possess the ability to make fortunes. I want to give you some historical examples of the obvious buying patterns of these boomers. It started with a company called Gerber back in 1940, who were barely known. But by 1955, just 10 years after the boomers were born, they had sold 1.8 billion jars of strained baby food. As the boomers took their first steps, it was Buster Brown and Kenny Shoes. When the boomers went out to play, Mattel and Hasbro got rich providing toys to this young group. In 1957, we built more elementary schools in the U.S. in 1 year just to handle the overflow than we did in any 12-year period before or after. As the boomers went through their teens, Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken became billion-dollar companies feeding the boomers. When the boomers moved through their 20s and 30s, which was in the mid-70s, what was the industry to be in? Real estate. Why? Because the boomers had heard from their parents one time too many, as long as you're living under my roof, you'll do as I say. So they wanted their own roof, which created a 15-year real estate boom. And people are still talking today about the great time frame to be in real estate.
Okay. Are you looking for a business to start your own? Or are you a student, employee, or working professional who seek for an extra income? Or are you looking for a ways to start earnings? This is the right time for you. Makinig ka lang, please open your mind to see how the business works for you. Siyempre, smile muna tayo. Ayan. Kita po natin, kung di naman tayo smile, super asim ang kalalabasan natin. Ang smile po ay napakaganda unang-una sa ating katawan dahil tayo po ay nagiging positive. So, pag sinabing napangiti tayo sa isang kaibigan natin, meaning wala siyang problema, maganda po ang mood, ika nga. So, kung saan, ngayon, mapapakinggan nyo at mapapanood nyo kung gaano kaganda at alam ko mapapangiti kayo sa business marketing ng GPRS. Okay, business overview. Sa business overview, pag-uusapan natin dito kung ano po yung business sa kasalukuyang nangyayari sa present situation, ika nga. Ano ba yung characteristics ng business? Una, meron tayong traditional business. Set decision, group decision, the same time, kasama din yung planning. Mag-sample tayo na yung sinasabi natin traditional system kung saan ikaw yung magsisimula ng negosyo or meron kayong grupo. So, sample tayo, internet shop. Sa internet shop, pag tayo naglagay ng business, syempre, kailangan natin ng kapital. Sa kapital, para makabili ng computer, mga table, at the same time, yung mga gagamitin. So, kailangan natin ng 150,000. Hindi pa kasama dyan ng mga business permit and other legalities. Siyempre, sa negosyo, kailangan natin ng big income. Siyempre, hindi naman pwede small income. Dapat big income. So, hindi rin mawawala ang big risk. Ano ba yung risk na yan? Competitor. Sa competitor, kung unang-una, tayo nagtayo ng negosyo, 10 tao ang pumapasok sa atin. Pero dahil nagkaroon tayo ng competitor, yung business 10, minsan 5 na lang. At the same time, maintenance. Kung saan nasira yung computer, yung mga parts niyan, so kailangan mong bumili, lalo-lalo lang kapag out of warranty. And other expenses. Ano-ano yung other expenses? Siyempre, nagbabayad ka ng bills na Meralco, mga internet subscription mo. At the same time, mga parts pa ng mga computer mo na out of warranty. Kung meron ka namang isang maiisip na isang negosyo kung saan meron ka namang paglalaanan ng pera mo, so kailangan mo na lang mag-franchise. Ibig sabihin, yung system is ready na. Kung gusto mo mag-franchise naman kung malalaking business, so kailangan mo rin din ng mga strategic location. Sa strategic location, kailangan mo nung lugar kung saan talagang papasukin ka ng tao. Mag-sample tayo ng isang franchising. Ang franchising, halimbawa, Jollibee and KFC. Una-una pagkain yan, alam natin, papasok ang tao dyan. Sa franchising, hindi mawawala ang kapital. Sa pamamagitan ng kapital, para tayo magsimula ng business. For example, 5 million. Siyempre, ang kagandahan dito, yung big income ng traditional, dito sa franchising, stable income. Meaning, yung kita mo, stable na siya. Talagang papasukin ka. At the same time, alam mo na kung sino yung market. Unang-una, pagkain yan. Kaya lang, hindi mo mawala yung big risk. Ano yung risk na yan? Siyempre, nandiyan yung competition. Sa halaga bang 30 pesos, makakapasok ka sa Jollibee? Siyempre, oo, makakapasok ka. Pero, hindi mo kayang bilihin yon. Hindi ka kayang bumili sa halagang 30 pesos. Makakabili ka siguro mga hot choco. Pero hindi magiging competitive price yung pagbili mo doon. Ang competition na sinasabi, yung 30 pesos mo, pwede mong ilaan sa ibang pagkain tulad ng mga siomai. Yung siomai na yan, sa halagang 25 pesos, makakakain ka na. At the same time, isukli ka pa 5 pesos. Yung stable income mo, nawala, bumababa. Okay? Bababa rin yan sa pamamagitan ng employee. Kapag mayroong absent na employee, nakaranas na ba kayong pumila sa mahabang food chain, for example, Jollibee or KFC? Di ba kapag mahaba ang pila, lumilipat tayo ng ibang food chain o ibang kainan o restaurant. So, sa pamamagitan ng employee, nababawasan yung stable income kasi may mga absent na employee, walang reliever. The same time, costing. Yung costing po ng pagkain na niluluto ng Jollibee or KFC o kung ano man pagkain ng food chain yan, tumataas yan dahil sa pagtaas ng mantika or oil na ginagamit nila, at the same time mga ingredients. Okay? Ngayon, ipakikita ko sa inyo ang isang business kung saan pagsasamahin natin ang traditional at pang-franchising. Traditional plus franchising plus sasamahan natin o idadagdag natin sa isang business kung saan ito is pinaka the best na component ng isang negosyo para lalong magtagumpay. Ang multi-level marketing. Okay? Traditional plus franchising plus multi-level marketing, kaya nyo magsimula ng small capital, walang risk, big income. Okay? Small capital, no risk, big income. Patutunayan ko sa inyo yan. Please, open your mind, makinig ka mabuti, manood ka mabuti sa marketing plan ng GPRS. How can I maximize my internet to the business? Ito ang isang traditional business kung saan gumagamit ng internet or online services. Okay? Mapapansin mo o makikita mo na ang internet shop, lahat na ng services nasa kanya. At meron siya isang katanungan dyan, what else? At the same time, dyan sa bahay, gumagamit siya ng internet sa bahay kung saan nandun lahat din ng services na ginagawa niya. Pero naghahanap siya ng services kung saan pwede siyang kumita sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang tanong dyan, or any services using my internet. Okay? Do you want to have this kind of services? Okay, itong services na to gumagamit to ng online or internet. Western Union, Cebuana Lulia, or Smart Money. Ang tawag sa services na yan, remittance. Kailangan meron kang 1 million. Bayad center or bills payment. Kailangan meron kang 1.2 million para ma-franchise mo ang services na yan. Or ticketing and booking. Ang tawag po dyan is mga travel and tours. Okay? Kailangan meron kang 300,000 per airline para magkaroon ka ng ganyang services. Or sinasabi nating loading regional center kung saan hahawakan mo ang mga loading regional center. Kailangan meron kang 800,000 per network. Kung gusto mo daw lahat ng services na yan, pagsama-samahin mo at gawin mong negosyo, kailangan meron kang 5 million. Meron ka ng online services. Remittance, bills payment, ticketing and booking, and loading regional center. 5 million. Ngayon, i-introduce ko sa inyo si GPRS or si Global Pinoy Remittance and Services or GPRS. Okay, si GPRS is an online-based transactional and reporting facility kung saan pwede siya mag-loading, bills payment, remittance, local and abroad, at the same time, air ticketing and booking. Yan po ang itsura ng franchise ni Global Pinoy. Nasa kanya na po lahat. Siyempre, in legalities, nandyan din po ang SEC, nagpapatunay na sila po ay nakaregistered sa ating government. At the same time, binigyan siya ng certificate ni Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Imagine niyo, ang binibigyan lang ng certificate ni Bangko Sentral is yung mga bangko. Dahil nga, si GPRS ay remittance, umahawak ng pera, at the same time, financially stable, binigyan siya ng certificate ni Bangko Sentral. At the same time, nakipag-tie up din siya kay UCPB and Megalink, kung saan humahandle kasi si GPRS ng mga bills payment, kung saan ito magbibigay ng interconnecting sa lahat ng establishment ng bills payment. Lahat ng institution ng bills payment. Okay? Franchise outlet more than 700 nationwide. Ganyan na po karami si GPRS. From 2009 up to 2012, so meron na po siyang 700 plus nationwide na franchise. Okay. To franchise this business, all package services, nandyan na po lahat. Remittance, bills payment, ticketing and booking, and loading system. Imagine niyo remittance 1 million, bills payment 1.2, ticketing and booking 300 per airline pa dapat, loading system 800,000 per network. Pero kay GPRS, once na nag-franchise kayo, 1.2 million lamang po. Lahat po nandyan na po. Okay? Ito po yung investment breakdown po once na nag-franchise kayo ng GPRS po na franchise. Yan po ang inclusion for local franchise equipment mula sa computer hanggang sa uniform. At the same time, ganun din po sa mga training and licenses na ibibigay. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo po, lahat po ng services niya, kailangan meron kang 5 million para magkaroon ka ng online remittance, bills payment, ticketing, book, and loading. Pero kay GPRS, 1.2 million franchise lang po. Wala naman po ganyang kalaki ang 1.2 million ang isang ordinaryong tao, isang manggagawa, kung saan sumasahod lamang ng 20,000 basic salary. Ngayon, i-introduce ko po sa inyo ang Global Dealer Package or Personal Dealer Package ng Global Pinoy Remittance and Services. Ano ba yung Global Dealer Package or Personal Dealer Package? Unang-una po, lahat ng services kasama na. Nandiyan na yung remittance, bills payment, ticketing and booking, unified loading system, plus sinamahan niya pa ng GPRS Visa card. Ganyan po itsura. Mamaya explain ko po yun mamaya. 65 retailer activation cards, kung saan pwede nyo pong bigyan ng negosyo ang ibang tao sa pamamagitan ng loading. Poster, para malaman po ng isang tao na meron kayong negosyo. Unang-una po, kung nasa bahay, syempre magkakaroon kayo ng poster kung saan nandun ang remittance, ticketing, loading, and bills payment. Okay. Kung yung 1.2 million franchise ng GPRS, sa personal dealer package, ibibigay lang po lahat ng services na yan sa halagang 14,998. Imagine niyo 14,998 only. Kumpleto ka na. Sa 14,998 yan, hindi mo kaya mag-start ng business. Una-una, kailangan mo mag-permit pa kung ano man negosyo. Kung sari-sari store yan, may hirapan kang magtayo. Dahil isang araw, 2 araw lang ang pwedeng ilaman yan sa tindahan mo. Yung 14,998 yan, lifetime business yan ng GPRS. Kung saan pwede ka na magkaroon ng remittance, bills payment, ticketing and booking, unified loading system, at lahat pa po. Okay? Sa 14,998, may business ka na lifetime. Once na po kayo ay nakapagpa-member, magkakaroon po kayo ng mygprsexpress.com/network kung saan dyan po kayo maglalagin. Ang tawag po dyan, your own personal business web page, kung saan dyan po magkakaroon ng transaction sa loob ng website. Okay. Ang loob po ng website ng GPRS na yan is nandyan po yung pan-transfer, network, e-cash, loading, my account, and location. Okay. Dealer or e-cash portal. Ang dealer po, kayo po yan. Once na po kayo naging member as person, dealer na po kayo. Pero once na ginagamit nyo na yung system, ang tawag na po dyan ay e-cash portal. Kung saan yung e-cash po ay popondohan nyo po. Popondohan nyo po siya para yan po ang gagamitin nyo pan-transaction sa lahat po ng services na gagawin po ng GPRS. Okay, for example, meron po tayong e-cash. Kung saan wala pong laman tong e-cash na yan. So, hindi natin pwede magkaroon ng transaction ng remittance, bills payment, online booking, online shop kung walang e-cash na pondo. Once na meron tayong e-cash na pondo rito, magagawa na po natin ng remittance, bills payment, online booking, online shop. At the same time, sa loading. Yan po ang mga menu ng loading. Meron tayong regular load, special load, prepaid cash, transaction, report. Dapat meron din tayong load balance dito. Para malagyan yan, napakasimple lang din po. From e-cash, pwede natin lagyan ng laman itong loading natin. Mamaya explain ko po yan. Okay. Once na nagpa-member na po kayo, magkakaroon po tayo na tinatawag na multiple ways of earnings. Paano po tayo kikita? Once na tayo nagkaroon ng negosyo, sa pamamagitan ng service charge, ng remittance, bills payment, ticketing. Okay? Sa remittance, pagpapadala ng pera. Sa pagpapadala ng pera, dyan po tayo kikita. Okay? Dealer to dealer or e-cash to e-cash. Meaning, pwede po magpadala ang isang e-cash o isang dealer papunta sa isang dealer din po. Automatic may system charge na 25 pesos. Bakit po? Kasi po, gagamitin po ng dealer ang system, kaya hihingan siya ng system ng 25 pesos na charge. Ang kagandahan po nito, once na ginamit ng dealer yung remittance na yan, any amount in currency, 25 pesos lang po ang sisingilin sa kanya. At the same time, maximum 40,000 per transaction po. Mag-sample po tayo kung ano ang ibig sabihin niyan. Kung meron pong dealer sa abroad at magpapadala po siya ng 1,000 dito sa Pilipinas, automatic, ang charge lang po 25 pesos. Imagine niyo, from abroad, nagpadala siya ng 1,000 papunta sa Pilipinas, 25 pesos lang po. Kung $2,000 yan, 25 pesos lang din po. What if kung wala naman kayong kamag-anak? Siyempre, kikita kayo dito sa pamagitan ng service charge. Plus additional 10 up to 30 pesos na outright income nyo po. Papaano po yan? Meron kayong kaibigan, hindi dealer, pumunta sa inyo, papunta sa ibang dealer, yung ipapadala niya. For example, yung kaibigan nyo magpapadala ng 1,000, pumunta sa inyo dahil gagamitin nyo yung system, kukuha na kayo ng system ng 25 pesos. At the same time, hihingi kayo ng service charge once na na-accomplish yung remittance. Ang sisingilin nyo sa kanya, 1,055. Ang mawawala sa ikas nyo na pondo is 1,025. Pero ang magiging cash on hand nyo is 1,055. Okay? Habang nawawala ang laman dun sa ikas na pondo nyo, nagkakaroon naman kayo ng tinatawag na cash on hand, yung pera na hawak-hawak nyo. Assuming nyo na lang meron kayong 30 pesos na service charge sa remittance, sa loob ng isang araw, meron kayong 10 transaction, kikita kayo ng 300 pesos per day. Sa loob ng isang buwan, meron kayong 9,000 per month. Okay? Sa bills payment po, paano ang kitaan? Dahil dealer ka na, pag ginamit mo yung system, matcha-charge ka ng 10 piso. Meralco, Smart Bro, PLDT, other bills payment na transaction. Service charge, paano tayo kikita? Pwede kang kumita ng 10 to 15 pesos kada service charge. Paano yan? Kung ikaw may kaibigan o dealer pumunta sa iyo, gagamitin yung system mo at magbabayad siya ng Meralco, meron siyang 1,000 na babayaran sa Meralco, gagamitin mo yung system, kakatasan ka ng system na 10 piso, at the same time, hihingihan mo siya ng system charge na, ng service charge na 15 pesos. So, magiging cash on hand mo is 1,025. Ang mawawala sa ikas pondo mo is 1,010. Pero magiging cash on hand mo is 1,025. Kasama na dun yung service charge mo. Assuming na lang, meron kang 15 na service charge. Araw-araw, meron kang 10 transaction. Meron kang 150 na kinikita. Sa loob ng isang buwan, meron kang 4,500. Pero, meron lamang pong limitasyon ang bills payment. Hanggang 10 transaction lamang po siya per day. Bakit po? Kasi po, ang merong unlimited na bills payment lamang po na pinapayagan ng GPRS ay yung pong mga nag-franchise po ng 1.2 million. Dahil ito pong business na to ay pang personal lamang at para sa inyo lamang po, binigyan po tayo ng limitation na hanggang 10 lamang araw-araw. Okay? Ito po ang sample ng bills payment receipt. Kung saan, pwede nyo pong itong isulat, itong reference number na to sa likod po ng Meralco bill nila. At the same time, itong transaction date at oras po ng pagbabayad nila. Next, ticketing income projection. Paano pa tayo kikita? Kung ikaw ang dealer, ginamit mo ang system, kukuha na ka ng system charge na 200 kapag nag-local ticket ka, pag international 500. Ang kagandahan nito, lahat ng eroplano, pwede mong i-ticket o pwede kang mag-book sa lahat ng eroplano. Paano ka kikita? Sa pamamagitan ng markup or service charge. Sa local tickets, pwede kang magdagdag ng 150 to 300 pesos. Assuming mo na lang meron kang 20 tickets sa loob na isang buwan, pwede kang kumita ng 6,000 per month. Kung international ticket naman, pwede kang kumita ng 750 hanggang 1,200 na kita. Kung meron kang 20 tickets, so meron kang 24,000 per month na income. Ayan po ang sample ng airline receipt. Kung saan nandiyan na po lahat ng itinerary niya, pwede nyo po siyang i-edit kung saan pwede nyo pong idagdag yung pong service charge or admin fee na sinasabi. Okay. Earn more from your loading business. Ano po ito? Unified loading system, kung saan gagamit ka lamang ng one SIM all networks. Kung wala ka naman cellphone, pwede mo gamitin ng web loading system or online through internet. Direct sales. Ang direct sales po, ito po yung sinasabi na pwede mo pong ibenta sa ibang tao. Ano po yung ibebenta nyo? Ang ibebenta nyo po ay ito po, business opportunity to other people. Magkakaroon po sila ng business sa pamamagitan ng binebenta nyo po. Ano po yung ibebenta nyo? Nung sumali po kayo sa GPRS na global dealer, binigyan po kayo ng 65 peraso na RIC. Ang RIC po ay ang retailer card. Ito po yung ginagamit ng isang tao para pwede po siya mag-loading business. Ito mo retailer card na pong ito ay activation fee lamang. So wala pa po siyang load. Pag yan po ay naibenta nyo sa 65 na tao sa halagang 300, babalik na kagad sa inyo ang inyong pinuhuna na 14,998. Kasi po, ang total po niyan is 19,500, yan 65 peraso. Kumita na po kayo ng 4,500. Okay, ito po yung traditional loading system kung saan ito po yung kasalukuyan nangyayari sa mga store o sa mga tindahan. May Smart, Globe, Sun. May tigi-tigisa po silang load wallet. Sa tatlong cellphone, meron po silang 1,500 load wallet. Imagine niyo, kung isang area lamang po ay malakas ang Smart, hindi na po gagana ang Globe at Sun. Kung malakas naman po sa isang area ang Globe, paano po ang kita ng Smart sa ng Sun? Okay? Samantalang dito po, sa retailer card, once na inactivate na isang user o na isang pinagbentahan nyo, gamit ang cellphone niya, inactivate sa GPRS, gamit yung one SIM card, one phone, kung ano yung ginagamit niyang kasalukuyan na SIM card, Smart man yan o Globe or Sun, pag na-activate, kahit ang load wallet lang yan is 500, kaya niya nang loadan ng Sun, Globe, ang Smart. Na ma-maximize niya po ang load wallet, kahit 500 lamang. Unlike po sa traditional, natetenga po ang load wallet ng ibang network dahil mahina sa lugar nila. Okay, paano kung may kita po yung retailer? Yung binentahan nyo po ng retailer card. So, pwede po siyang kumita ng 10 to 12% for every load wallet na nabebenta niya. Kung titignan natin ang per network na kitaan, imagine nila natin, i-assume na lang natin na tig to 12% po ang kitaan ng per network. So, meron po silang tig 60 pesos. I-assume na lang po natin yan na ang kitaan po ay tig to 12%. 180 times 30 days, yan po ang possible na kitain ng isang retailer nyo, 5,400. Assuming na lang na you get 12% po na total retail income. Computation for Smart, Globe, and Sun only. Imagine niyo kung gamit nyo lang po yung retailer card, lahat po ng percentage nasa inyo po. Kahit malakas ang Globe sa area nyo, kuha nyo rin po ang percentage ng Globe. So, na-accumulate nyo po ang lahat ng percentage kasi isang cellphone lang ang gamit nyo. Dealer income projection in retailer. Paano po kayo kikita? Kayo pong nagbenta. So, yan po ay nabenta nyo po. So, kikita po kayo dyan na every load consumed by your retailers. Paano po? Meron ka na ibenta na 65 na retailer card. Ngayon, niloloadan mo siya ng 500 araw-araw. So, ang lumalabas sa iyo araw-araw na load is 32,500 sa 65 na retailer mo. Sa loob ng 30 days, ang lalabas sa iyong load is 975,000 kung saan kikita ka ng 2%. Yung 2% na yon is equivalent 19,500 per month. Imagine niyo na lang yung 65 retailers nyo nagpapaload sa inyo araw-araw ng 500. Meron kayong 19,500. Assuming nyo na lang isang retailer na lang nagpapaload sa inyo na tig 1,000 naman, tigwa 1,000 every day. Yung isang retailer. 1,000 times 30 days. So, 30,000. Yung 30,000 na yun yung 2% nyo. Kunin nyo po doon. Yun ang kita nyo. The more retailer, the bigger your earnings. Paano kung wala na akong retailer card? Isipin nyo. Makakakuha po kayo ulit sa opisina, makakabili po kayo sa halagang 150 na lang po. Hindi na po siya 300 kasi meron po siyang 50% discount. Okay, you already start the traditional plus franchising ng GPRS kung saan sa small capital kumikita na po kagad kayo. So, meron ho bang risk? Sa tingin ko po, wala pa ako nakikitang risk. Kung meron kayo napapansin, tingnan po natin sa mga susunod kung lalabas yung risk na hinahanap natin. Kasi po, ako po, wala pa po ako nakikitang risk. Okay, idagdag na natin yung multi-level marketing. Ano bang multi-level marketing? Share mo lang yung business. Sa pag-share mo ng business, namumultiply yung kita mo. At the same time, nagkakaroon ka ng long-term income. Papaano yan? Okay, gagawa po tayo ng system kung saan gagamitin na natin yung multi-level marketing or tinatawag nating networking. Pag-usapan natin paano tayo kikita sa pamamagitan ng direct referral incentives. Kailangan daw makabuo tayo ng left and right or binary. Okay? Kailangan meron tayong tao sa left kung saan once na tayo ang nakapagpasali sa kanya at sumali ang tao na yan na kaibigan nyo, automatic bibigyan tayo ng company ng 1,000 as direct referral incentives. At the same time, meron tayong kakilala at inilagay natin sa right natin, syempre bibigyan tayo ng company ng 1,000 as direct referral incentives. So, meron tayong kinita na 2,000. At the same time, nabuo natin ang left and right. Paano yan kung meron tayong kaibigan? Saan natin siya ilalagay? Meron tayong left and right. either sa ilalim ni left or either sa ilalim ni right. Assuming na lang natin ilagay natin sa ilalim ni left ang isa nating kaibigan. Yung 1,000 na direct incentive, sa iyo pa rin yan dahil ikaw ang nakapagpasali. 1,000 referral invites as many as you can. Kapag marami ka na mapasali, na direct mo, marami kang 1,000. Paano naman kung hindi naman ikaw nagpasali or indirect referral? Paano kakikita? Kung ikaw yan at meron ka napasali, ito ang direct referral mo. Kumita ka ng 1,000. Si direct referral mo nakapagpasali ng 2. So, hindi ikaw nakapagpasali, kundi yung direct referral mo. Kikita ka dyan ng 60. At lahat ng indirect mo, na hindi ikaw ang nagpasali, sila ang lahat nagpasali, magkakaroon ka lang ng 60 pesos. Okay? Magkakaroon ka ng 60 pesos from second generation down to your 10th generation. Magsisimula rito sa second generation mo, third generation hanggang 10th generation. Imaginein mo sa second generation, example, meron kang 30 sa second generation mo. Sabihin, 30 times 60. Sa third generation mo, example, meron kang 100. 100 times 60. Okay? Points pairing bonus. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Dahil nga nabuo mo yung left and right, nagkaroon ka ng tao sa left, nagkaroon ka ng tao sa right. Nakita ngayon ng system na meron kang left and right. Magkakaroon ka ng pairing bonus. Left, right. Magkakaroon ka ng 1,500 additional bonus. The same time, ganun din, yung left mo, kukuha din siya ng left and right niya. So, magkakaroon din siya ng 1,500. Yung si right mo, kukuha din siya ng left and right niya, kagaya ng ginawa mo, magkakaroon din siya ng 1,500. At ikaw naman, magkakaroon din ng 3,000. Bakit? Kasi nabuo mo din yung left and right. Left and right. 1,500, 1,500. So, meron kang 3,000 na pairing. Okay? GC on pairing bonus. Di ba meron kang 1,500 na pairing bonus dapat? So, sa system, magiging 1,200 na lamang siya. Bakit magiging 1,200? Kasi, yung 300 will be placed to GC points. Kung saan yung GC points mo, yun yung magiging savings mo. Once na-accumulate mo na yung GC points mo, may katumbas yun ng mga gadgets at kung ano pa man na pwedeng tumumbas sa GC points mo. Okay, slow plan feasibility study. Ano po ito? Ito po yung tinatawag na networking kung saan buwan-buwan lang merong sumasali. Ngayong buwan meron ka napasalin 2. Kumita ka ng 3,500. 1,000 sa left, 1,000 sa right, 2,000 plus nag-pairing, 1,500. So meron kang 3,500. Ngayon, nung sumunod na buwan, yung 2 napasali mo, kumuha lang din ng tigalawa. Kumita ka dyan ng 3,000. At the same time, nung 3rd month, kumita ka ng 6,000. Up to 12 months, kumita ka ng 3.1 million. Kung saan, 2 lang ang kinuha mo, left and right. Ginawa lang ng mga indirect mo, tiga-tigalawa lang ang kinuha nila. Assuming mo na lang na ang makakash on hand mo is 126,000. Wag na lang yung 3 million. Sa loob ng 1 year, kumita ka ng 3.1 million. Okay? Wait, there's more. Ano pala yan? So, residual income. Ano yung residual income? Sa lahat pala na nakuha mong network na tao na napasali mo, every bills na binabayad nila, meron ka pa palang piso. For example, dito sa first generation mo, under ng bills, yung 10 tao na yan, nagbabayad ng bills, 3 klaseng binabayaran. Meralco, Tubig, at PLDT. Bawat bills payment na binabayaran nila, meron kang piso. Kaya merong katumbas na 30 pesos. Imagine mo lahat ng tao mo sa ilalim nagbabayad ng bills. Yan ang katumbas ng piso mo, monthly. At the same time, ganoon din sa remittance. At ang kagandahan pa nito, sa ticketing and booking, hindi lang piso, kundi 10 piso. Imagine mo yung 10 tao mo na kinuha mo o napasali mo, laging nagtatravel o laging merong nabubooking na ticket, meron ka laging 10 piso doon. Kung saan na idadagdag dun sa e-cash mo. Okay? Yan ang long-term income para sa GPRS. Business failure. Okay, ang business failure, ito po yan. AKNY. Ito po yung mga taong negative. Kung saan sinasabi nila, alam ko na yan. Ang tanong, nasa na po sila ngayon? Yung mga nagsasabi ng negative. Kaya nagkakaroon ng business failure. Hindi nila na tutuloy yung negosyo. Sa business success, ito po yan. Kung saan ngayon nakikinig ka at pinanonood mo ang marketing plan ng GPRS ngayon. Dahil ngayon, nandito ka, nalaman mo ang marketing at business plan ng GPRS. Nung nalaman mo na ngayon, napakinggan mo at napanood mo, natuto ka ngayon. Dahil natutunan mo ang marketing plan ng GPRS sa pamamagitan ng panonood ngayon, at alam ko, kaya mo siyang ipaliwanag kahit sa maliit na pamaraan. Once na naipapaliwanag mo yan, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng age. Yung age na yan na magbibigay sa iyo kung saan magkakaroon ka ng buong knowledge sa business. Once na nagkaroon ka ng knowledge sa business, diyan mag-i-start yung earning mo. Okay? Knowledge is power. Summary of income projection. Kung titingnan nyo po yung summary income natin, sa service charge, lumalabas po per month is 43,500. Huwag na lamang po 43,500. I-assume na lang natin, yung service charge natin for the whole month is 1,000 na lang. Meron pa rin. Di ba? Hindi ba masama yung 1,000? Meron kang kita? Meron pa tayong loading. 30,000 per month. Pero yung 30,000 per month na yan, kuwang-kuha natin yan. Huwag na lang 30,000. Sabihin na lang natin 1,000. May 1,000 ka sa loading, may 1,000 ka sa service charge. Meron ka kakilala na ikwento mo. Sa networking natin, 100,000 per month. Huwag na lang 100,000, 3,500 na lang. Bakit? Kasi meron kang left and right. Plus yung bonus mo, 3,500. 3,500 yung networking mo, yung loading mo, 1,000, service charge mo, 1,000. Magkano na ang kinita mo sa loob ng isang buwan? Meron ka ng 5,500. Hindi na masama yun. Meron ka pang residual na 3,000 per month. Yung 3,000 na yan, huwag na lang 3,000, 500 na lang. Okay? Yung 3,500 mo sa networking, 1,000 mo sa loading, 1,000 mo sa service charge, magkano yung 5,500 plus yung residual mo, 500. Meron ka ng magkano? 6,000. Okay? Kung yan ititignan natin, ang average income mo per month is 200,000. Huwag na lang 200,000 per month, 1,000 na lang. Masama pa ba sa iyo yan? Pag-isipan mo. Yan ang marketing plan ng GPRS. Global Dealer Package. Ano ang gamit ng Visa Card? Itong Visa Card para lang po siyang ATM. At the same time, pwede nyo po siyang gamitin debit card. Siyempre, kailangan may laman yan. Hindi naman siya katulad ng credit card. Kahit wala laman, pwede kang mag-shopping. Okay? Yan lang po ang gamit ng Visa Card. Kung gusto niyo naman pong magkaroon ng isang magandang kita, kailangan is medyo kayo kung magaling kayo magsalita or magaling kayo mga mambola, pwede kayong maging franchise agent. Kung saan, once na kayo po ay naging isang franchise agent, at the same time, nakapag-close deal kayo, pwede kayong kumita ng 40,000 or pagkakalam ko is 75,000 po. At least, meron po kayong tinatawag na franchise referral. So, yan po. Once na meron kayo na i-close deal. Good news. So, meron po tayong Save More, kung saan nandyan yung pharmacy and minimart. At the same time, lahat ng services ni GPRS nandyan na po. Ito na po yung actual store nila. Ready for franchise. For franchising po, pwede po kayo tanong, tumawag po sa amin. You can visit the website of GPRS po. Time is gold. Katulad ng ginawa mo ngayon na nakikinig at pinanood ang marketing plan ng GPRS, hindi mo sinayang ang oras na ito. The market is wide open. Hindi lamang ikaw na nakikinig at nanonood ng marketing plan na ito ng GPRS. Marami ba pong iba na pwedeng sumali sa marketing ng GPRS?
Hi, my name is Tim Sales. Do you know that there are very specific differences in what the poor, the middle class, and the wealthy buy with their money on payday? It's so simple yet so different it nearly knocked me out of my chair when I finally understood it. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about, and you can evaluate for yourself why the wealthy keep getting wealthier and the poor keep getting poorer and the middle class are stressed out. To understand this, I need to make sure you understand some basic business terms in the way that I'm using them. The words that you need to know are income, which means money you bring in, expenses, which means money you spend, assets, which is the most confusing one. An asset is defined as something that pays you. If you're an accountant or a financial planner, I just raised your eyebrows a little because the traditional definition of an asset is things you own. More on that in just a second. Liabilities is the last definition and is defined as things that cost you. A house is typically viewed as an asset, but can it actually be a liability? Yes. By the definition I used earlier, anything that costs you money is a liability, not an asset. But to answer your curiosity, yes, a house can be considered an asset. When is it an asset? When it pays you money. If you were to buy a house and rent it out, and it paid you a positive cash flow every month, that would then be considered an asset. One more time on the definitions just to be very clear before we continue. Income is money you make, expenses are money you spend, an asset pays you, and a liability costs you. Now let's look at what the poor buy on payday. On payday, the poor buy what I'm going to call stuff. What is stuff? Inexpensive things that people buy that they don't really need to survive. You go into someone's house and you can't find any counter or tabletop space in the whole house because of all the stuff on it. You can't find a single foot of white space on any wall in their house because of all the stuff that's hanging on it. Where did they get this stuff? They bought it at the flea market, at the garage sale, at the dollar store, at the craft show. Their house and their car is full and cluttered with stuff. So income comes in on payday and then goes straight out the expense column to buy stuff. The poor really never educate themselves on assets and liabilities. The poor justify their buying all of this stuff by claiming that it costs so little. Yes, it was very cheap, inexpensive, not a lot of money, but over the years, it's all they ever had. The problem is their income never produced or created more income. I know this group very well because this was me. This was the way I was raised. I, in no way, am cutting or undermining this group of people or any other group. I just see a lot of financial pain out there and that need not be that way. I only want to help you, and hopefully you'll pass this information on to people you care about. Creating wealth is not a mystery. It's a formula. The only reason someone doesn't create wealth is because they don't know or don't apply the formula. Let's continue on and look at the middle class. The middle class is the group that society mistakenly thinks are the rich. They are not. Yes, they typically earn a six-figure income, but what they buy on payday keeps them prisoners of the middle class. What they buy on payday are liabilities. Remember the definition of a liability? Things that cost you. By buying liabilities, the money gets pushed up and out their expense column. Liabilities are items like cars, boats, houses, airplanes, credit card debt. Let me explain the way this happens. On payday, the middle class make a nice big paycheck. Let's say $15,000 for the month. They then split that down the middle and pay their monthly expenses with half, and with the other half, they make a down payment on a new car. The car costs $7,000 down, and after they tack on the insurance and the maintenance, that liability costs them $1,100 new dollars every single month. A few months go by and they want a boat, then a vacation home, a Rolex watch on the credit card, a vacation on the credit card, and before you know it, their liabilities have raised the expense levels to near or above their income levels. They actually spend equal to or more than they make, meaning that they have to go to work and make a certain amount of money every single month because of their liabilities. The other important issue with both the poor and the middle class is that normally all of their income is dependent on their own effort, meaning they've educated themselves to exchange their knowledge and expertise for someone's money. Here's an example. An attorney is knowledgeable about law, so people pay him or her money in exchange for that knowledge on an hourly basis. The problem there is that if they're not, the attorney, sharing that knowledge with a client, then the attorney is not making any money. Their stress level is as tight as a piano string. And if you were to ask them to go to dinner with you, they very rarely can because of how much money it'll cost them to take that time off. On the surface, life is merry. The reality is that it's a roller coaster ride. That's the middle class. Now let's look at what the wealthy buy. On payday, the wealthy buy assets. Again, an asset is something that pays you. If you want to become wealthy, buy assets that then earn you more income. The money wheel looks like this. Buy assets that produce cash, that then buy more assets that produce more cash, that then buy more assets that produce more cash. The wealthy spend their money and buy things that produce more money. Here's a couple of examples of assets that produce more income. Investments are the obvious: stocks, bonds, real estate. Education is another asset. If you learn how to do something and actually do it, that produces more income. That's buying an asset. I heard a great expression once: if you think education is expensive, you should see how expensive stupidity is. Another example of assets you can buy that pay you is businesses, especially those businesses that can create a passive income. Passive meaning that once you build it up, it pays you whether you're still building it or not. A little example is if you buy a pinball machine and put it in a barber shop. You don't spend any of the profits. You save them until you can buy another pinball machine and put it in another barber shop. This, by the way, was Warren Buffett's first business. Warren Buffett, by the way, is one of the top 2 richest men in America. The wealthy are extremely eager to find those passive income businesses because it continues to pay them month after month, year after year, long after they've stopped working the business. That's actually the way I created my millions. I found a passive income business that I built up, and it continues to pay me month after month, year after year. I then took those profits and multiplied them in another passive money business, and then again in another. In conclusion, here's what I've learned. You can't find these passive money businesses unless you're open to hearing about them. Then once you find them, be willing to research them. The reason I say this is that I answered a hokey little ad that I ended up making a couple of $1 million from, simply because of that ad. So these businesses are out there, you just got to find them. You've also got to be educated enough that when the right situation does present itself, you don't miss it. So remember, the poor buy stuff, the middle class buy liabilities, and the wealthy buy assets, preferably businesses that can create passive money. Then take that money and buy another asset that produces more money. That's the wealth creation formula. I sincerely hope that you've learned a couple of things from this explanation. I'm Tim Sales.